Now I believe it's time for... oh, no. Where's the jingle? Oh, there it is. It's right next to the other jingle. It's time for Nat's Provocation Station.
The chat train is pulling into Nat's Provocation Station.
Hello and welcome to my train station. I didn't know that was going to come out my mouth as it was coming out my mouth. I'll keep this one short because we've only got a few minutes left, Henry Raby. So today, my provocation is maybe sums up a few of the things that we've been talking about, particularly with Zoe. This is something I wrote a few days ago on the 12th of November. On the 12th of November, 2021, the final day of COP26, I sit in stillness, contemplating, breathing in the reality of our times. It's impossible to comprehend the vastness of the impact that of the results of these global negotiations. Based on the short-term goals countries have set out, temperatures will rise above 2%. Sea levels will rise. Drought, floods, heat waves, and fierce storms. Complete devastation. And occasionally, I just try and sit in stillness and comprehend what that means. For anyone remotely invested in the climate crisis, the last 2 weeks has been a turbulent time. My brain has a permanent fizz and crackle from constantly critically analysing each headline and speech and report. Through my computer screen, I try and keep abreast of the real COP26, where the organisers are and the unions and the indigenous people and the young people and the protesters, the puppets and the storytellers, the drums, the chanting, the sharing, the listening and all the colours. I feel overstimulated. And through this avalanche of information, the spikes of hope and twangs of horror, my mind keeps on coming back to 3 simple words. Will it work? How are we going to make this time different? How can we change the story to create a different story? Or in other words, as an artist, as an activist, where is the best use of my energy? So in the last 6 weeks, but I mean generally for much longer than that, I've been involved in all sorts of different types of activism. As I said to Zoe, I've sort of broadly set them into 3 different categories. The top is truth to power. That's your protests, your marches, your banners, your placards, your direct action, the talking to the big corporations and the policy makers at the top of the hierarchy. My second group, this is a rubbish name, so if anyone's got a better name for this, I've called them middle of the road management, but that sounds really negative, but I love this section. This is your third sector working collaboratively to build stronger, more resilient, sustainable communities. So this is probably where you put your arts organisations, your local councillors, the trusts and charities, anyone like that, maybe your university, organisations that are trying to build better communities. And then in your third section is your very, very grassroots. And I call this grassroots, small is beautiful. And this is a different kind of direct action. I think this is the kind that picks up litter or sees a bit of graffiti and cleans it off, or scrubs off a racist sticker that's stuck on a lamppost, or looks after a neighbour, anything along those lines. So I guess my provocation to you, Henry Raby, is, what are your reflections on yourself, your art, and where you fit within those 3 categories?
I think there's been times in my life where I've been booking that coach down to London for the big demo. There's been times when...
Yes, we have.
We've been there. There's times when I have, encouraged that scraping off of that sticker, that tiny action that normal. If I scrape off a sticker, I always put it on social media and I say I'm doing this, and that may someone say, "Oh, that's virtue signaling." You're just going, "Look how good I am." I'm telling and that's what is that? But actually, we talked about this on the last episode about normalizing a culture where you go, we just do not stand for that.
We're not going to walk past a racist sticker or whatever.
And then the last thing I'm wondering about your middle one is, I did the SAIL training, which is sustainability in the arts, and trying to think here how we at the chapel can make ourselves more sustainable, and I guess you've got to...
Or, take a group of young people up to COP and show them one of the biggest demonstrations that's happened in, I don't know, ages.
But if I have any hope at all, I mean, I'm feeling loads more hopeful after the show. I think you've done a great job. Great.
I'm buzzing.
Why don't you want to go to the pub afterwards?
I know, because I'm being no fun month,
being busy and boring.
Yeah,
I think if there's any hope, it comes from people and mobilising and conversations. And I was really interested very quickly to say this, and I think it's time to wrap up, but I sometimes go to protest and the more interesting stuff happens afterwards in the pub. And you were saying that while we were at COP up in Glasgow, there was a demonstration down in Leeds in the city centre. And actually it wasn't very shouty or marchy or direct action. It was lots of people connecting, having those conversations, and out of that grows many other actions and many other connections and communities. And
I think we're going to win.
Yeah, we'll smash it, mate.
Yeah.
We're going to win.
We're going to win.
So